So again, now we are recording. So to start off, if you need to schedule further time with me, if you want to go over this business plan one-on-one, send it to me by email. I'm going to collect all of them, and I'm going to save all of them in Google Drive. So guess what? You guys and I together will make sure that we have an accountability program moving forward, because there's nothing worse than having this plan done, spending all the time you guys are going to spend on these plans, and then turning around and guess what? Not finding them again for 6 months, and you uncover it, and you're like, oh my gosh, no wonder my business is slow because I haven't implemented anything that I said I was going to do. So my goal for everyone is that we get this business plan in place. You guys schedule some time, maybe in a small group, to go over your business plans once you've got them done. If you guys are going to be around tomorrow night, Friday, my house, 5:30 p.m., we're going to have a little happy hour up at my place at Lakeview. But if you need additional time, you can always schedule with me. If you look, towards the bottom of this page, you'll see it literally says schedule time with Nick, and then you just schedule further time with me. There's going to be some updates to your personal page here, your templated website from Exit, and we're really excited about it. They're going to be over the course of the next couple of days. You'll notice at the top left-hand side now, there is information about, a couple more things about you. You can have links to your different social media, a little bit cleaner look. And then obviously your About You page, all that different information. There's all different kinds of fun stuff coming to your pages. So please learn about that. And again, if you click on the About Me page on me, there's schedule time with Nick right there. So you can always easily schedule time with me. All kinds of neat stuff coming to your personal websites, but that is not why we're here today. We are here today to talk about two things. Number one, your business plan, and number two, your market leader, not your website, because that's your front-end website, your back-end newsletter. And these two things are tied so closely together, guys, I can't even tell you, because it's all about who you've met and who you haven't met. So let's dive into your 2020 business plan. I cannot believe we're already talking about 2020. You have gotten several times in your email, and I will send them out again to you. You've gotten the outline of basically how to do your business plan, and then also a top 55 things to do in real estate to help your business. If you're in the classroom, if you guys got the top 55. Yes. Okay. And at home, hopefully you have the top 55. If for some reason you do not have the top 55, you're about ready to have the top 55 again, because I'm literally going to send it out to you right now. And so you're going to have it in front of you so you can open it up. Now, what I want to do with you guys on that is I want to make sure that you understand that you, first of all, do not have to sit there and copy my business plan. I'm going to open my business plan up now for everyone, but I do not want you to think you have to copy my business plan exactly. But the basic concept of the business plan is going to stay the same always, and that is you need to pick out 5 to 7 things to make your phone ring in the coming year, okay? 5 to 7 things in the coming year to make your phone ring. So all of you guys in about 30 seconds are going to have in your inbox, once again, a copy of my business plan, a copy of my time block calendar, and the top 55 things you can do in your business. What I want to do right now is I want to go into my business plan, and I want to show you exactly what has gone right and what has not gone right, because some of you may already be working on from your 2018 or 2019 business plan. So what I did with my business plan was I said, what am I good at? What am I not good at? And I'm going to cut out things that I know I hate doing and I won't do. But at the same time, I also want to make sure that I get in enough new things that I'm growing my business beyond the existing year. So some of you watched the webinar I did the other day where I said, I'm going to show you how to source all your deals from this year to figure out, okay, if I had some deals this year, where did they come from? Whatever activities worked for me in the past year, I want to continue to do those activities. So looking at my business plan from 2018, now you'll notice mine doesn't say 2019. I just ran right through into 2019 with the same one from 2018. Do not do that, because what I found was there were things in 2018 that I didn't do that I should have taken off this plan, and there are things that I could have amplified in this business plan for 2019. But what is kind of, I think, my trademark is networking in Sphere. And we're going to have a class this month about networking in Sphere, how to meet more people if you're not good at it. Meet more people if you're good at it, but you don't know where to go next. Because networking is free. It almost always is free to go out there and meet new people. But there's specific steps you take after that. And I've talked about this on the blog, when you meet someone, are you just handing them your business card and hoping they remember you? You're in trouble, because you're going to run into somebody like me that is a quote-unquote master networker that will sit there and get their contact information, follow up with them, program them in my phone. That means they're going into my market leader and into my CRM, which means they're getting my monthly newsletter we're going to talk about later. And then I'm going to add them on social media, and then I'm going to start inviting them to what? The leveraged events that our office does for you. And you can do your own events on top of that. So this is the power of networking, but you can't rely on just networking. So you've got to pick out 5 to 7 total things from that messy list of 55 that we sent you. You can't just live on social media. You can't just live hanging out at networking events. You have to go beyond there. Remember the 3 funnels that I talk about? If you guys are not already on my LinkedIn blog, or for those of you guys that are, you're going to go, oh my God, Nick, you're going to talk about that again. But I really mean that there are so many things on that LinkedIn blog that are important that I want you to read again as you come into this 2020 season. Because number one, I find out that most of us are not time blocking, which is why I just sent you the time block calendar again. If we are time blocking, we're time blocking for stuff we already are doing, not for stuff we are going to have to do in the coming days, weeks, and months to really build up for new stuff. So I'm going to go into my my personal LinkedIn, and I'm going to remind you guys of what's on this blog so that you can pull stuff off this blog as well. And so you just go in, it's all my articles. All my articles, they're all for realtors. They're not for consumers. I got a whole different set of stuff for consumers. So you guys should be on this blog. I want you guys to read what's on there. I talk about strategic theme days, things like that. But one of the big things I talk about is where do you get your leads? And there's 3 sources of leads: prospecting and farming, referrals and sphere, and paid leads. Okay? Prospecting and farming, referrals and sphere, and paid leads. Now, there's a new blog that I'm going to have coming out soon that talks about paid leads. I'm actually now splitting into 2 categories. This is my own work product, but it's something that I've coached with Core, with Buffini, with Zillow even, if you can believe that, and with Realtor.com. And they're all saying, we think these funnels are right. This is actually exactly where you need to go. So what is it? Prospecting and farming is the stuff that you need to do that costs you nothing, but it's door knocking, it's open houses, it's cold calling. It's a lot of stuff you're going to do as a new agent, and that's in that list of 55, okay? Then you go to the right of that, referrals and sphere. That's the people you already know. That's getting back in touch with them. That's rebuilding relationships. That's doing what? The leveraged events. That's creating value for them. That's checking in with them monthly. That's going back to our call days, our theme days. When are you calling these people? When are you texting them? When are you building a relationship? You can't just rely on social media to do that. Social media is part of it, because if you're sitting there and you're texting them and they're ignoring you, or quite frankly, you don't have their phone number yet because it's not that strong of a relationship, social media is that crutch or that bridge in the meantime. And then over to the right, this far right-hand column is paid leads. That is when you throw down a credit card, and I just cringe even when I say it, and you spend money on a Zillow zip code, things like that. And also in this category now is OpCity. It's Redfin Partner Agent. It's UpNest. There's a whole different bunch of stuff that on these conversion Thursdays, I'm going to talk to you guys all year about these different lead sources, because I've been with Redfin as a partner agent for many years. OpCity, almost everybody in our office that is really with their office is in some sort of relationship with OpCity, even if they hate it. Okay? What those companies do, they're not paid on the front end, you pay them on the back end as a referral fee. So for somebody without a big budget, it's a great way to get into lead sources where you don't have to do the upfront work. However, you're paying them a huge amount of money on the back end, and these leads don't necessarily like you. So what are the pluses and minuses of each? Prospecting and farming, you are having to go out and door knock. Think about you are opening a store. You're opening a store. Each one of you owns a business. It happens to be powered by Exit, but that is your business, okay? Prospecting and farming would be opening that storefront and then going out and knocking on every other store owner's storefront and every other house in the neighborhood and saying, hey, how are you? I've got a new business down the street. Come check it out. I got a new service. Come check it out. What can I do to help you? That's prospecting and farming, okay? Referrals and sphere are, that's when you've done this well enough and long enough that people start bringing other people to you. They come to your store. So my goal is when I wake up in the morning, the people are at my store, knocking, waiting to get in. That takes a long time to build. Now, some of you guys that are newer, I'm thinking Nicole Wheatley, I'm thinking Heather, There are people like Nicole and Heather Walters that they are literally in the first year have built a reputation, and people are bringing referrals to them. That's amazing, but not everybody's there yet. And then over on the right-hand side, I used to call it the rich people category. We'd throw down our credit cards and we'd pay somebody else to do the dirty work. But here's the problem with that. My referrals in Sphere, when people are knocking on my door, they're not ignoring me. They're not giving me bad addresses. They're not showing up to appointments. The paid leads often do. They blow you off. They're harder to convert. So pick your poison, and we're probably going to have to play in at least 2, if not 3 of these categories. And I can help you once you put your business plan together to figure out where exactly to play. But I need you to think about that yourself first. Where do you want to play? Where is appropriate for you to play? Do you have money to be doing paid leads? Are you willing to do the work? Do you have a big enough sphere to start getting referrals? What is in it for you? Okay? So enough about my blog. I'll get off that soapbox, and let's jump back into the actual business plan. So networking and Sphere, I did a lot of work there. 2018, 2019, I really hit it hard. I did events. I decided that if I was going to do an event and some of you are going to do an event, why don't we do an event together? And so that's how we created the leveraged events that the office does all the promotion for you. So what's coming in December, we're going to talk about this a little bit more when we do our newsletter in a little bit today. In December, we're going to do a holiday party contest or a holiday decorating contest. Send us a picture. We're going to vote on it as an office, and the final 3 get onto social media, and then we have prizes for all 3. Cute, easy. You're not having to throw an event because there's too many going on already this month. January, what are we doing? We're doing a property tax appeal seminar. What a great thing for everyone to be talking to people they already know, people that already bought, and people that have never met you but that own property in your neighborhood. We're going to hit it out of the park with that. So networking and Sphere, I did good. Where did I not do good? All right, right above that. Oh, my farming campaign. It is my grass was very brown because there was no farming going on. No fruits of that labor because there was no labor. I didn't do it. Okay? So if I was really successful with this, I probably would have had to come to 411 or had an accountability group like some of you guys that are listening together today to say, I am going to do this and I need people to hold me accountable. But guess what? You got a graphic designer. You have Remind for free so you can get all the information to do a farming campaign. There's no reason not to do one except yourself holding yourself back. So what I would recommend you do then, if you're going to farm, hey, Nick, if you're going to farm, you are going to then make sure that you have the stuff in place up front. And what do I need on you in these outlines? So at the top of this outline, all I've got is the year. And again, you have this in your inbox. Every single one of you do. You've got a mission statement to make a certain amount of income. That's all I want to know. I do not want to know, I want to have this number of deals at this price point because this is not an economic model. I hate that business plan. That's a couple of our competitors love that one because they think that they're going to kind of just get you going with that, except the problem is, do you know who's going to pick up the phone and call you next? Even if you did 2 years ago, I had a house that I sold for $40,000 and a place that I sold for $2.1 million. And every year it's kind of like that. Now, I have my bread and butter in the middle. So I can tell you on average I sell about $270,000 per house. However, I don't know who my next call is going to be. And quite frankly, most agents are in the position that they are desperate to get a call, period. So therefore, we are going to always come at it that this is a prospecting plan. This is a prospecting plan. Does that make sense? So it's not trying to figure out the economics of, 2 times $250,000. I don't even want to see that math. If you want to do that, that's great for yourself. I want to see what, who, what, when, where, why. So, for example, on my farming campaign, even though I didn't execute it this year, where is I going to do it? Lakeview. How often am I going to do it? Monthly. How am I going to do it? New listing just sold, et cetera, et cetera. I want to see under each bullet point. Don't tell me I'm going to farm my neighborhood. Well, what neighborhood is it? How often are you going to go? Who are you going to target? What are you going to send them? Who, what, when, where, why, how? For every category. If you don't do that, I'm going to send the business plan back to you. And honestly, if that scares you and you're like, oh my gosh, Nick's so mean, I'm doing you a disservice if I don't get down to details with you. That's not a business plan then. That is a vision board. And I love vision boards. But vision boards have to do then what? They have to be implemented in a business plan. And then the business plan has to be executed, which is why we have 411. If you think we have systems now, just wait for this coming year as to how I continue to wrap all this stuff back into the same systems, okay? Because this is what this company is all about now, is systems. So networking and Sphere, I told you I did a lot. I did pretty decent with that. Websites, I was paying for Zillow at one point. Now we have OpCity for Realtor.com. Zillow, those zip codes are kind of on their way out. I can coach with you if you think you want to buy some. What I did do a lot of, quarterly home buyer and investor seminars. I tied a lot of them into you guys. Some of you guys are doing them on your own. Now, Cassandra's not here today at Cottage Grove. I would have loved to have roped her in. I think she's out in the field to sit there and say, Cassandra, what have you done? How many of XYZ have you done? Because she's like now the education queen. She's out there really providing value to people. We're going to do a monthly event for you guys at the office, and you may want to do something on top of that or more intimate than that to your core database. You know what I'm doing with mine for this year? You'll see this in my my new one when you guys come over to my house tomorrow night. Those of you that have finished your business plan, I'm doing a book club on Rich Dad Poor Dad. Because my friends buy houses and condos and then they stop. They buy one. That's it. So we're gonna have a little book club. I'm gonna trick them into coming. So you guys have first Fridays with me at my house. They're gonna have second Fridays. So I'm gonna trick them into reading that book to get them their wheels turning. Hey, we're making money now. We've got a house. That's not an investment. That's mattress money. You're sleeping there, so it's appreciating. I want mailbox money. I want money coming in from other people that are renting my buildings that I bought. My guys aren't there yet. My girls aren't there yet, so I want to get them there. What are you going to do to get people there? Does that make sense so far? Okay, so you've got this idea here of 5 to 7 specific objectives, 5 to 7 specific objectives with an income goal at the top, and the who, what, when, where, why for each. Those of you that have turned them in so far have turned them in, and they've done really good. So I'm very, very excited by that. You guys are following these plans so that, quite frankly, you guys can collaborate without me if you don't like me or if you're scared of me. I'm just kidding because I'm sitting here and everybody in here seems friendly today. But I know some people are like, oh, my gosh, he seems busy. I'm really not that busy. Just go on the darn calendar and schedule with me. But you guys can absolutely collaborate because you guys are all doing the same thing. You guys have all set this up the same way. So that's the smart thing about us doing it is I'm doing the same business plan you are. We're all operating off that list of 55 things. We're all working within these 3 funnels, and we're all at the same company with the same tools. Okay? So that is the business plan. I don't think we need to go too much farther into that, but I'm going to open it up to questions, and then we're going to go right into your database because I got to tell you, if you're working this business plan, this database is going to blow up over the next year. What questions do we have either in the classroom or online? Because online so far I got nothing from you guys, which is actually good if I did my job right, but I don't always do it perfectly. So you tell me, what do you need on these business plans? Or do you just need to do them? Just do them? And that's well, there's a lot of stuff in that 55, and not everything in there is truly, to me, a dialing for dollars type thing. Someone's like, okay, time blocking. Well, that's not a business plan piece, but I wanted that to keep those in there because it gets your mind flowing. Speaking of time block, one more thing, and then we're going to jump into market leader. Is I do want to stress to you, your time block calendar needs to reflect, and I said this the other day in another training. I'm going to pull up my time block calendar. You have a copy of it in your inbox. Your time block calendar needs to reflect what the heck you're struggling with. And what I mean by that is, so this is my calendar. You guys know I am committed to the Miracle Morning. I love it so much. What you don't see on here was, what did I say I didn't implement this year? Farming. Do you see where the farming is? Now, I've got a word farming calls over here, but that required me to pull the information and do the work. I didn't have that time blocked. So guess what? It didn't happen. So you have to have your green time. That's your money time. That's your morning time for calls and prospecting. Reflect what the heck you're going to do. So mine's going to have time to say expires. So my time block calendar will say expires because I'm sitting there going, you got to be kidding me. If I spend all this time in my neighborhood and I'm active in my community and I got Nick Libert signs everywhere and you're telling me I'm not going to market to expires, I know some of these people know me. They didn't choose me as their agent the first time. Why the heck aren't they now? And what else am I not doing in my community, but I've got a time block for it? You have to time block for that stuff, okay? So really, really important that your time block calendar is also reflective of this business plan. If they don't match up, or if you roll into 411 and your 411 doesn't match up with your business plan, I'm wondering if we are if you're not realizing that these are all very interconnected. They're all very interconnected. So think about what you need to put in this green time. What I did every day almost was I got my birthday cards done. I got my personal text to people done. This year I was more hands-on with my database than ever before. People were like, God, you're all over this stuff. But some of them talk too. They're like, he's all over everywhere. And because I had the time block that's what I was supposed to be doing. Call my VIPs, status calls, hot old leads, the daily stuff is in that green time, Nisha.
So do you just follow the same exact thing every week, or do you update?
I do not. I follow the same, or yes, I follow the same thing every week. So the question was, do you follow this every week? Yes. You should. If you need to change this every week, you're going to have a problem sticking to it. Keep it simple, stupid is what I've always told myself. I'm not telling you guys that. I'm telling Nick Libert that. Because I'm a creature of habit. I wrote a whole blog, back to that stupid blog I'm talking about again. I wrote a whole blog to you guys. I experimented all summer with fitness stuff, with database stuff. If you make it a habit, if you trick yourself into accountability, it will become a habit. If you sit there and change it up all the time, oh, well, today I'm going to break my routine. So, for example, last night I stayed up late to do my Christmas tree so that y'all would have a nice place to come walk into with a decorated tree. So I said, I have got to get some sleep. I want a good night's sleep because I'm really trying to take care of my body. That meant I woke up later this morning. That threw off this Thursday morning little lift cardio thing. I sat there and I looked at it and I said, I'm going to have to move something this morning. And I said, no, I'm not going to. I refuse to change this schedule. So I got up a little later. I squeezed everything in. I had one thing that was virtual that I said I can do that on the way into Cottage Grove. I can drive in and talk to that person. I don't have to meet them in person. And guess what? Everything got done. I got 5 miles in on the running trail. I got a bunch of past client calls, checks in. All I did was saying, hey, checking in with you guys. How you doing? Did you go to the market I invited you to? Because on Monday I woke up, I didn't have any time to remind people or to check in with the people from that market that I was inviting people to. And I had 2 people go, no, I didn't go to that, but what else you got going on? They actually are asking for the next event. And some of them are hyped up because I've been talking to them about property tax appeals already. So the weekly, if you try to change this weekly based on what else you have going on in your world, you will lose. If you stick to this and make this your thing, that you get up and you do the green stuff, so green is money. What is going to make you money? If you wake up and you say, oh, okay, well, I was supposed to respond to, a client that had an issue and this and that, and you start putting out fires, or you let your personal life get in the way, guess what? By the time that you may have time for this, you're too tired. I have tried this every other way, guys. I'm not preaching to you from a book. I'm preaching to you from years of failure and trial and error and stupid stuff where I make $150,000 one year and I make 60 the next. How the hell do you go from 150 to 60? Watch me be dumb and not follow these systems. These systems were in place many years before me. And I would go to them and I'd do them, and then the next year I wouldn't. So I'm not preaching to you from anything except personal experiences. I want you to have the best years like I've had now the last 5 years. In the last, I'd say 7 years in a row, consistent every year, big business, because I'm following these systems. And people go, well, that's a lot of discipline. It was in the beginning. I used to sleep till noon. Some of you guys don't know that. Sleep till noon. I was not an early morning person. I didn't exercise, and when I did, I'd exercise at night. If you go back to my Facebook to 2009, 2010, I was checking into whatever the place was that I could afford back in the dark days of real estate, LA Fitness with $9 a month memberships. I'd check in at 11 at night, 10 and 11 at night. So I was using social media, but I was sitting there falling asleep at the gym because I didn't have these habits down. So I wasn't built like this. I made myself like this. And this is where all of a sudden clients are coming to me going, Nick, I know that you will sell my house faster because I see you out there running. Now, am I really going to sell faster? No, but they see the discipline and they want an agent that's like that. So think about that. Nick, you had a question.
Your farming and your expired FSBOs, how are you coming up with that list?
Good question. Expired's going straight into Remind. Go to the MLS, and we're going to have a whole class on expireds. We're going to have MLS, a whole class on expireds. Pull them up off the MLS and then go into Remind. There are outside services you can pay for. I'm not spending a dime. And this is, I will be with you in the field in expireds. I'm going to do a very small radius around my house where I go to the grocery store and I've got a little box around me, so I'm not competing with you guys. I'm going to be out there with you doing it. FSBOs, go to Zillow. Go to Zillow and go to the for sale by owner area. Just make sure they are not listed on the MLS because some FSBOs somehow show up as both.
So when you do the Remind, you only send out the letters, but they don't get out the personal messages.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Remind, it's about 30% now have cell phone numbers. Some of them have email addresses. It's whatever they are pulling off of what they put down on that original card that they filled out when they bought the place, and then also whatever other information Remind has dug up since then. So it's a lot of them don't have anything. that they just have the property owner address. This is not an expired class, just so you know, but we will address that there. What I will tell you is, though, is that there is information on almost everyone now. There's little websites out there that you can pay $9 a month, like Spokio, and get all kinds of creepy information. I found people I didn't want to find. Okay. Whitepages.com. So we'll go over all this in expireds. I want to keep this class moving to where we need to go because we are up on time on this part. I'm going to make sure there's no questions from anybody else yet. Okay, time blocking is my downfall. Heather, I love you. You're amazing. How is time blocking your downfall and you're killing it, making $100,000 your first full year in the business? But you're a mess behind closed doors. So is everybody else. My coach, my best coach at Core, paying $2,750 a month, so you guys don't have to. He was the number one agent in El Paso, Texas, the number one RE/MAX agent in all of the South of America. He told me that he probably actually matches the time block calendar 3 days out of 5. And this guy's doing 500, 600 deals a year. And he can only pull it off 3, maybe 4 times. He goes, a great week is 4. So don't beat yourself up, but also that's not an excuse. I had a nasty little Instagram story. I thought of some people at our office today when I was like, there's an excuse for everything. I can make an excuse up for anything. I'm the master of excuses. You can give yourself a break and a breath if there's an emergency or something goes on, but it can't be every day. This schedule, going back to Benicia, your thing, it can't move week to week. When I'm regimented on this, you're just going to have to do it. You're just going to have to get into it. And once you're into the habit, it feels so good to say no. I have a problem saying no. Some of you guys have taken the DISC test. I'm a super high I. Some people that are listening I know are super high I's. We like everybody to like us. So if you have a fire, I'm going to put it out. I'm a master firefighter at this point. That will ruin your time block calendar. It will ruin your prospecting. It will ruin your business. So you have to learn how to say no. I'm still learning. For some of you on the call that you call me in the morning and I still say yes to you, you get me. I want to encourage you to control your life, okay? Control that time block calendar. Now, Heather and I had a really cool session about the database. And we're going to dive into the database now. It is time. We're 2 minutes actually behind where I estimated. And because a lot of the mess is not the time block calendar. You guys have it. You guys aren't following it. I'll yell at you. You'll yell at me, and we'll get ourselves back together on the time block calendar. I'm not worried about that. It's the database I'm actually more concerned about. Sarah, the question, do you translate this to your Google Calendar? Yes. Have you ever tried to schedule an appointment with me in the morning? So if you go on nicklibert.com in the About Me section, that's where my little schedule is. Or you go into my email signature, and it's that little link that says schedule with me now. You can't schedule with me in the morning because I'll refuse. My calendar won't allow you to. So watch. I'm going to go into next week real quick. It's a good exercise for those of you that say that you can't figure out how to schedule me. We're all near laughing because these are not the people that say that are in this room. All right, so let's see. Quick call, anything like that, let's do an actual coaching session. If we want to go into next week, I have made it so my calendar will not allow you to do that. Same way with buyers and sellers. They're not going to be able to show houses with me in the morning. Now, I have some of you guys sometimes text me like, Nick, it's an emergency. Guess what's happening? I'm breaking my rule, and I'm getting in with you guys, but it's got to be an emergency. Same way with family. I got some crazy family health issues going on right now. Guess why Monday is blocked up? I'm going to Indiana. So I have ruined my own day on Monday, but this stuff happens. But what did I say? 3 days out of 5. Can you pull it off 3 days out of 5? You're going to be golden. So if you go in later in the week, you can see, okay, I got all these different times for you, but I don't have 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. because that's when I'm making the golden green money calls that are going to make me some cash, okay? So do that on your own calendar. If you like a calendar app, do it. If you don't like a calendar app, you just got to remember, to go back to Sarah's question, I have blocked off 9 to 11. I've blocked off 9 to 11 on my personal calendar so that Calendly can't put me in there. And it says prospecting. So if I do have to go over that with somebody that's got an emergency in here or a client that the world is ending, guess what? I have to sit there and physically look at my calendar and go, ooh, I'm in my green time. That sucks. Okay? I hope that helped you, Sarah. Nick, you had a question?
How many trans are you looking to? How many trans have you done so far this year, sir?
Transactions, me, 39 at this point. I'm at 39 transactions and 11.6 million. 39 transactions and 11.6 million. I will close out the year how I've closed out the year the last 5 years in a row, which is between 11 and $14 million.
I am without farming.
That is without any farming. any Zillow, any Realtor.com, I have taken 4 Op City leads and closed 2 of them, so I'm at a 50%. I'm in the highest quartile of them. Guys, I'm telling you, this is, if you can get to the point, one more time, we are going to get off track. I knew it. If I can get you to the point of getting to referrals and sphere, that's the sweet spot. That is the absolute sweet spot. I wake up, it's not a brag session, but I will toot my own home for a second. I wake up to leads almost every day. That's how I figured out the other day how to do the Facebook inbox, because I realized there are people trying to get a hold of me, but it's because I'm constantly providing value. I'm constantly reaching out. I am all over everywhere during my green time, and I'm all over everywhere at night when I don't have clients. I'm sitting there if you have a baby shower, I'm showering that baby with stuff. If you have a funeral, I'm at the funeral. I mean, I'm everywhere you invite me to be. There's a paper bag opens, I'm there.
So what are you doing, though? Like, you're an agent. Are you telling them, hey, I'm an agent? Like, how are you connecting?
How am I connecting with them? So this is, again, I'm going to defer a little bit of that to the community building class we have this month. Check your calendar. However, I will tell you this much. I am simply making an introduction, meeting a new person, mentioning I'm in real estate, and then getting their contact information. Phoenicia, what a great way to transition into the market leader class. So we're going to close out a couple windows here, and we're going to move on to the market leader class. I hope everyone is enjoying yourselves so far. I'm sure there's a couple eye rolls at my cheesy jokes. And that is it, though, is I'm getting their contact information. So we are going into the front end of your market leader website, which each one of you has. Each one of you has paid for by the office. This is also your CRM. How do you get into your CRM? You go to the bottom of your website, and you go to admin login, and that's you. If you do not know that information, talk to Laura. And this is the business plan is the framework of your house. This is the appliances. This is the roof. This is the electricity. This is everything else. The life you breathe into this business is your database. Vanessa, how, or actually going back to Nick's question, how do you do that year after year and you do no marketing? Well, I do social media. I'm prospecting to people I already know. I'm just not meeting a huge amount of new people, but when I meet new people, I'm sitting there and I'm making such an experience with them over time. I'm building a relationship. This is your database. This is my database. They all look very similar. So as we coach this year, another gift that I think we have, an opportunity we have as an office, is almost everybody's using the same CRM. Because we're using the same CRM and I'm in the business with you in my little tiny box of the world, I can show you exactly what I'm doing, and I can show you right now how to use your CRM. What you need to make sure, first of all, so we're going to do the newsletter today, but I want to start with the basics. I need you to make sure that your phone is synced to Market Leader. Because otherwise, what you're going to do is you're going to go to 2016 Nick Libert status, where I had business cards stacked up. I had notes about people. I was printing out people's LinkedIn so I could add their contact information. It was a disaster. And guess what happened? Those papers, probably some of them are still on my desk, on my messy desk, yellowed and gross, because we were not getting people's information in because our phones didn't sync with our CRM. Now there's no excuse. When you meet someone, get their first name, last name, email address, and phone number. I'm going to say that again. First name, last name, email address, and phone number into your phone, okay? Into your phone, your regular phone contacts, and then make sure it's synced up to Market Leader. How do you do that? You go into Contacts, and you click on Import Contacts. So when you are new, you are probably going to have, if you're not a brand new agent but you're new to exit, you probably have a bunch of people stored in your MLS because you've been around a while. Nick, I'm looking at you. You probably have everybody that you've ever done a CMA for, you set up on a search, they're all in there. They got first name, last name, email address, or something like that in there. You can export them, and on the left-hand side, you can click on Start an Import. Laura can help you do that. The staff can help you do it. I can show you one-on-one. It's very quick. You go into the MLS, you click on My Clients, and then you click on All, and literally you can just export everybody. That is all your past clients, because I'm assuming most of your clients aren't in your phone correctly. Because how did we live until this year when Market Leader changed and a couple other CRMs did? A lot of them still don't do this, so that's why I love Market Leader. We'd have, Victoria Painter, not because her last name was Painter, because she was the painter. Okay, or Victoria A. I have one client in my CRM still as PA because I couldn't pronounce their first name, didn't know how to spell their last name, and I didn't want to ask them, and they were a Zillow lead, and so I just put P for the first name, A for the last name, and an email address. And that's how they are stored on my phone. So I know the phones are a mess, but I want you to, moving forward, start to really clean the phone up. Because what we're going to do is not only import past clients from your MLS. A lot of you guys are new and don't have any yet. Or if you're not new, you've already done this. I want you moving forward to integrate. Okay, see the middle thing here? Integrate, view integrations. This is where Heather and Cheryl and I had a field day the other day. If you have not watched that half-hour video of me, Cheryl, and Heather, they generously donated their coaching time. I said, I have a funny feeling a lot of people in the same situation you guys are in. Can I tape this? And they're like, yeah, cool. I'm like, wow, okay. And we sat there and we just hammered out. There's Heather closing all these deals, doing amazing. And because she's been so busy on the front end, the back end, her database isn't right yet. And that's how I would wing it, make $150,000, the next year fall down to $60,000. And I'd be in this yo-yo that, quite frankly, most real estate brokers at all companies are still at. And it drives me nuts because the last 5 years have been pretty darn cool to be able to sit there and be like, I could actually pay myself a salary out of my little S-Corp that I do my commissions in, which is another story for another day. But my goal is to get you guys to the point where once you're up and running, that your database and your business, even in market fluctuations, should not really be fluctuating that much because you've got a core group of people that send you business. That makes sense? But you can't do that unless you've done this back-end work. So Google is the only thing I want you to connect. Don't even worry about any of the rest of this stuff. All you need to do, and it will say not connected at the beginning, you click on connect, and it will connect with your Google Contact. So if you have an Android phone, once you connect with Google Contacts, it'll say, do you want to sync both ways? Yes, you can sync both ways, or you can sync just from Google into Market Leader. But I like it syncing both ways. So if you input something to Market Leader, change it, it syncs up with Google and vice versa. Everybody with a Gmail account has Google Contacts. So if you have an Android phone, all that stuff's syncing to your Android phone anyway, you're done. So just get that to sync to Google. For those of us with an iPhone, there's an extra step, and it costs $5. And that's the only thing I can think about that I don't like about my iPhone is I had to pay $5 for this lifetime app, and it's called Contact Sync. And I'm just going to show you, make sure you have the right icon here. Contact Sync is the app, and it is available, obviously, for your iPhone. It's $4. And then it is literally, let's see here, and it's best won all these different awards. So this is it. And it is a little like brown logo. I want to make sure I can show you guys the logo. So if you guys are seeing more than one thing, you can see it tiny at the top of the screen here, but I want to show it to you a little bigger than that. We'll give it just a moment to load. I think it actually thinks it's already on the website. So let's see here. Just get the image of it. And so this, again, you want to download it to your iPhone. Contact Sync, CONTACTSSYNC. And that is what it looks like, that little logo right there. Do not download anything else, okay? And then you open that app, and it says, do you want to connect your iPhone or your iCloud to Gmail, to your Google Contacts? And the answer, of course, is yes. And you want to do that on an ongoing basis. So when you touch your iPhone, you actually then, when the minute you enter in someone's contact information, first name, last name, phone number, you may not be able to get the email if they're moving quick on you. But I have a conversation with them, and I send out some cool prizes and things like that. I've got some events going on every month. Give me your email address too. Or then later on, I'll follow up with them. So when I'm in an open house, I got my phone on the whole time. I'm just adding people right there. Put your number in my phone. Or I do use the Exit Connect app, but realize that you still have to go back in and program it manually into your phone. So that's there's still that disconnect there. You have a question?
So and the app is not the two-way thing for this, it's the Google to the iCloud?
Nope. So I want to clear this up at home as well. So the question was, when you are syncing up Google, so see here, Google to your Market Leader, it's a two-way sync. And then there's also a two-way sync back and forth once you are in the actual little app on your iPhone between iCloud and Google, okay? Because remember, there's 3 different systems here. Sorry for some of you guys at home, this is getting a little technical. iPhone, so imagine there's iPhone, then that's going to Google, and then that Google's feeding into Market Leader. Trust me, okay? Just download it and do it. And there will, on occasion, be duplicates. It is what it is. Leave them alone. They will ask you to delete the duplicates. You absolutely can. It just cleans the database up a little bit. Because your goal is eventually that you don't even have to go into Market Leader except do your newsletter and maybe do any other special stuff. That everything, as you meet people, it's in your phone. Any other questions on this? Because I really want to move forward to other stuff and not get bogged down with this technical stuff. Yes, Nick.
With such a large database, how do you keep in touch, or how many touches do you try to
do to these people?
Yeah.
Wonderful question. And Heather is sitting here agreeing with what I'm saying. Thank you. I appreciate the validation, Heather, because, this is, it's a little bit of a new thing for everyone that we're going, oh my God, my phone is my CRM. Yes, your phone is now your mobile CRM. I know that Market Leader has an app for your phone. It's cute. I don't care. I want you to have everything straight up in your phone so that when you sit there and you get a call from Victoria Painter, that you actually have a real full information in there. Because what's the goal eventually? Going to Nick's point, that you get them into your monthly newsletter, and then from there start to get more information, so then they get the rest of your touches, which goes to our 12-month marketing calendar event that we're going to have next week, the training on that. Because they should be getting your e-newsletter. They should be getting some sort of other piece of mail. The e-newsletters monthly. That's what we're going over next. Then after the e-newsletter, we are going to go into inviting them to events. So that's personal text messages to people, things like that. That is not going to happen to 5,000 people. That's going to happen to people that you extract. So I think this is actually a good time, Nick, to then go into the conversation about groups, okay? From there, as you sync up, I'd be very curious to see how many people are in your database. Because as you start, you're going to see that there is a big, big master group called Contacts, and that's the Google Contacts. That's everybody that came over from your iPhone into Google into Market Leader. So this screen is a very important screen when you and I coach together. Again, all I did was press Contacts and then Manage Contacts, okay? Contacts and then Manage Contacts, and then Manage Groups, I should say. So here in this, look at here, and again, I'm very, very transparent with you guys about how I run my business. I have a giant, ugly master list of 5,114 people that I've somehow breathed on in the last 2 decades of business, okay? That's my master list. Everybody in Google that you sync up to an ongoing is going to then get what? The associated campaigns. So you need to add, see the add button under associated campaigns? Any group that you want to have conversations with in terms of getting on a monthly automated newsletter, you need to add. So I have a separate list for attorneys, don't ask why. And then I'm going to add them to the monthly newsletter and then also to the birthday greetings. You will not see 2 versions of it. I have that because I tried to be cute and it's something that didn't work out. So monthly newsletter and birthday greetings, and you can just do the monthly newsletter. Once you set this up for the group, let me say this very clearly. Once you set this up for a group, you never have to set up the group again. In other words, everybody coming in through Google Contacts, it's automatic. If you put them in your phone and you've got it synced up, it goes into Google Contacts and then into Contacts in your Market Leader, and they automatically get the newsletter. So in theory, if you've done this right, I meet Venetia on the street and say, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. Welcome to my open house. Hey, I've got a little prize at the end, so we're doing a raffle. Let me get your first name, last name, email address, and phone number if you wouldn't mind, and I'll follow up with you at the end. And, of course, she's going to go, oh, I want the prize. So guess what? She now automatically, because all this is synced up, goes into my monthly newsletter. That is the baseline. So I need to make sure when you guys come and coach with me that at the baseline you have contacts set up, that there's a good number of people in there. New agents, maybe 50, 100. You've been here a year, probably 500. Couple years, 1,500. Lana Railing, myself, a couple other people have been around a while, thousands. To Nick's question, then you are going to eventually figure out that, well, I need to do more than the monthly newsletter. And if you're working with us at our office, the advantage is we're doing the leveraged events. So for January, do I have the time to, they're going to get my newsletter. They're absolutely going to get my newsletter. And we're going to talk about the upcoming events. But the odds of some people unsubscribing, bounce backs, missing it, goes in the wrong folder, that's email. It's just the baseline. But there are going to be people I want to really make sure that they get my information, okay? Not just an email, but a follow-up, a text or a phone call. So what do I want to do? Yes, everyone in my database gets that one monthly touch. But then there are special people that I want to get my quarterly evidence of success. If you don't know what that is, we'll have a class on it. Letter from the heart. Go look at the blog. We just talked about the letter from the heart last week. Charles Grandison had an amazing one. That's twice a year, summer and winter. What a perfect time is the holidays. But what do I need to do to send something like that? That's not an email. Direct mail. I need their home address. So I have got to have had some sort of a conversation with them over time that's going to spur that up. And what is that? Finding out what their birthday is. I go on LinkedIn. A lot of my people have their birthday on LinkedIn or Facebook. And I add their birthday into what? My phone. Because guess what happens then? It goes from my phone into Google Contacts, into Market Leader. This is the genius behind this. Is over time I'm building them up so that I actually have a list of, and I'm going to read this to you because I don't even have it typed out yet, but I'm going to have Amanda do a graphic for us on it. It goes from getting them into your database, then you want to make sure they're grouped. And what do I mean by grouped? If you'll see down here, I've got some other special groups. Now, I don't have my past clients moved over yet because everybody's in MLS clients. But I need to separate out past clients because who's the people that I want to make sure above everyone else gets invites to my events and anything else cool I'm doing. Past clients? Yes, because past clients have already dealt with you. They like you. They should want to do business with you. And who else? VIPs. So see here, I've got VIPs. I've got MLS clients. I'm going to break down MLS clients. That's current people. I need to move past clients into past. They're all getting my monthly newsletters, but they also need to be getting more. And so they get the birthday. I'm getting their birthday information. And then because I've separated these people out, I'm able to simply click on this 141 people and start realizing, okay, these are the people that I need to start texting and calling about my events. Because to go back to Nick's point, I would love to think that everyone's going to get 36 touches a year. The reality is if you know a lot of people and you're starting to really get into these higher numbers, 5,000 people, I'm not calling 5,000 people in a year. I got to be real with you. I'm not doing it. I'm calling the people that matter the most. It is my past clients, my current clients, and by current clients, I mean people that said they want to buy a house. I don't care how far along they're in the process with me. And then also my VIPs. Who are my VIPs? That's my vendors, lenders. That is the people around me that have not bought jack squat for me, but that have referred me business. I have people that send me clients left and right, and they have never bought anything for me for one reason or another. Some of them can't afford it, don't want it. Other ones, they already have a realtor, but they really don't like their realtor because it's their cousin. So for those of you guys at home going, oh, well, I know people, but they already know a realtor, get in their inbox, get on their schedule, get them items of value. Sooner or later that silly cousin's going to mess up. And when it is, I want to go from number 2 to number 1. Okay? So moving forward, let's get to the actual newsletter. So I've shown you how to sync up. I just want to check and see if there's any other questions. Oh, you guys are doing good. Nothing crazy in here. Okay, so actual newsletter, very, very simple. I have detailed instructions on how to add videos, if you want to do a video, all different other kinds of stuff. But we're going to go into just the basics today because I think that's where we need to start. So you go into Marketing Center. So contacts, that's all your CRM stuff. That's all your database. Listings, that's listing marketing. That's a whole nother day. It's all kinds of cool stuff in there. But Marketing Center, you go into Marketing Center, we're going to go into literally what is right up at the top because they know that that's what everybody needs, and that is your monthly newsletter. This is your baseline. Guys at home and watching this later, if you don't have a business plan to me and you don't have your database set up, I'm really, really concerned. I'm not mad at you. I'm actually mad at myself because I cannot believe we are that disconnected and that I have not somehow connected with you the importance of this. I'm on autopilot this point, closing what? 11.6, probably end up 12 million this year on autopilot. Farming out leads to the people, sleeping at the job, so to speak. I'm not prospecting to new people the way I could be because I'm working with you guys, and I'm still doing all these deals because I'm doing the basics. So if you don't have the basics done, it's killing me. So please, if you're at home and you're struggling with this, let me know why. And in the classroom, I'm like, they don't need that. They're going to finish and they're going to be done. So you go into monthly newsletter on the top left. So the first thing, it's literally steps 1 2, and 3. Not hard. 1, 2, and 3. But you've got to remember to click save at the bottom of each. A couple of people that I know are on this call have gone all the way through and done all the work and then forgot to press save.
So let's hear about it. My computer almost went out the window the other day.
Yep. Hold on, guys. We got a question at the office.
I went inside. I went inside. Updated the newsletters last week. Updated for about an hour. I keep hitting save.
Yeah.
And I did that.
You did that. And then you did not. And don't worry, I did this too. Remember the month that you guys all got a blank one for me? You should have heard the language at my house. Lakeview is lit up. All right. Look at the bottom here. Bottom left-hand side. You have to click save and continue. It is what it is. That is the way the stupid thing works. That's the way it's going to work. I have, there's stuff they'll listen to me on. There's stuff they're like, why can't you press one more button? Nick, shut up. So, this me versus the programmers. I don't program. So
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you all customizing your newsletter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me show you my November. This is why I love to coach, because mine better be good. If I'm showing you how to do it, I better do a good one. This is why, for those of you guys at home, a couple of you guys are listening to this together, the person that benefits the most from coaching is the coach, because they have to learn this stuff and then do it. So if you are thinking later on, do I ever want to mentor people? You should. Because number one, here you're going to get paid if you are bringing people to the company. And number two, it makes you do it better. So this was mine last month. You do not have to do a video. But if you want to go to the pinnacle of newsletters, the video every month is pretty cool. All you do is film with YouTube, and those of you guys that are here, somewhere in here is the little $30 tripod. Have a family member hold it, whatever. You can sit there and do a video very quickly. My video last month was simply me going, what are you doing for the coming weeks? How's it going? Happy holidays, and join us at these 2 events. And I linked it to the 2 upcoming events we had. Okay, it was Learn with Exit. And then I think I talked about Photos with Santa, or I don't even think I talked about Photos with Santa. I just talked about my Learn with Exit. So there was the opportunity every month for me to do a video. And once I started doing videos, it just got more and more engaging, because these newsletters look really good on your phone too. So you can absolutely sit there and say, I don't want to do the newsletter video. That's fine. But do a little bit of customization. If you do nothing, it will spit out the pre-written articles that are perfectly fine. But I got to tell you, the more you make this you, because think about it. Every time I meet somebody new on the street, they're also meeting other realtors. But are they getting a video newsletter from the other realtor? If I meet you once and I'm not connected with you on social media, okay, maybe they'll remember, maybe they won't. If they meet me, they get my newsletter, and then also they're connected on my social media. Think about that. So there's steps to this. We're going to the newsletter today. We can go into later on also making sure you've got their home address, making sure that everybody's grouped right, the social media, the birthday, and then eventually, if they've gotten through this whole process, so you say hi until they buy or die, that they have bought through you, what do you need then? A testimonial. So this list, I want to go back one more time. Well, I'm not going to go all the way back into groups, but if you go into groups and you've grouped it where it had the VIPs, the current clients, and then the past clients, every single one of those past clients and current clients should be on your social media, as well as the VIPs. But the past clients, you can sit there and cross-reference that list to your Zillow and say, okay, this person didn't give me a testimonial. Why not? And create some value for them for a couple months and then hit them up for the testimonial. Okay? Back to the newsletter. So every month I try to customize mine. I've got a video every month for mine. If you want ideas for your videos, just go to my YouTube channel. Just type in Nick Libert on YouTube, and I have a whole category called Monthly Consumer Update or Client Update from Nick. And I have now 12 months of them.
From Nick Libert, doesn't it?
No, that's on my YouTube channel. Let me show you guys real quick. For those of you at home, I'm just going to show you guys this. So if you want examples for the video, but I know a lot of people are not at videos, so we're just going to do this for 5 seconds, and we'll go back to the actual newsletter. Go under playlists.
Hi, I'm Nick Libert.
Shut up, Nick. And then under playlists, Monthly Consumer Real Estate Update from Nick. And I have 12 months. I think this will be my 13th month of doing this. All different kinds of stuff. I mean, I talked about running the marathon. I invited them to the Swallow Cliff hike. Design and staging happy hour that some of you guys went to that was so cool. Asset protection, house hacking. I always had something. I filmed them in my house. I filmed them at the office. I filmed them in the street. One time I forgot to do it, and I was literally doing a training event, and so I found an exit banner and spoke in front of the exit banner with a friend of mine shaking the stupid camera. So I did them wherever I could get them done, and then, you can see here, it's just 60 seconds. Quick, quick, quick. But if you don't want to do it, so enough about that. If you don't want to do that, let's at least do the basics, and let's get in here and do the basics. So hold on one second, and I will get this closed out. So each month, they allow you to edit it until the night before it comes out at midnight. And Market Leader, the newsletters, come out when? The 10th of every month, whether it's a holiday, a weekend, a snowstorm, they don't care. And so midnight on the 9th, you are done. It freezes, it's over. It may let you still do it, but it has already frozen on its end, and it is going to send out whatever the heck was there. That's why we do this training every month for you before the 10th. So first thing, what is the subject? So here's December. What is the subject? Now, I'm not going to do season's greetings myself. I find that boring. I'm going to put something to the effect of, I'm actually going to do a little conversation about how to file not your property tax appeals, but have you filed your homeowner's exemption? Or appeal? Because that's asking a question. You can also do you're invited for the month that we have something invited. I want an interesting headline. Otherwise, it will say real estate news for that month. At least it changes it for you. The old version just said real estate news. If you said April, it would say April till you shut this sucker off. So you then click personalize. And by the way, you may want to save this piece, this little spot, until you click save and continue at the bottom, because otherwise it's going to forget. So we're going to go ahead and click save and continue, but then it's asking you the next step, and I don't want to do that yet. So I want to go back to review and configure newsletters. So save that subject line work for the end, and then go into personalize first, okay? Not much to do here unless you're going to do a video or some customization. That's the cool thing, is these could really go on autopilot, although I find that lazy. Your subject line should change, and then maybe if you don't like the articles in there, you can write your own articles completely. I don't have time to do that. You can change out pictures, things like that. So essential things we consider when buying property overseas. Now, my database is not doing that. That's a little high end for my database. So I'm going to do something else. I'm going to put a different headline here. So I'm going to repeat probably my subject line. Have you filed your homeowner's exemption? If not, here is the 3-year appeal process. Explain. Did you know you can appeal for up to 3 years of back homeowner's exemption? If you don't know, watch my new video. And I'm not kidding, being funny. I'm going to make a video that you guys can turn around and make 2. Because guess where I'm going after this? Cook County. So I'm going to get all the forms out. Because my clients, even though I every January sent a newsletter out with a video that said, here's how to do it, they don't do it. So what is this a great thing to do? Have this newsletter send out on the 10th, and then follow up by text with all your past clients to say, hey, did you file your homeowner's exemption this year? And every year, because you have to do it every year. Guess what? You didn't do it? No problem. I've got a video for you, and I've even got the forms saved for you, because now this is an extra value piece. See what I'm doing here? I'm creating value. So even if they don't get this newsletter, I can say, oh, did you get my newsletter? And they say, no, I unsubscribed to you years ago. I hated your orange face, Nick Libert. I can say, well, you know what? I know you don't like me, but here is the homeowner's appeal process, because we know you haven't filed this stuff. 90% of people that are eligible for it, now that's an exaggeration, not 90%, but a lot of people don't file this every year. They file it once or they don't file it at all. What a great touch to all your past clients. And if you're new, what a great touch to all your neighbors, guys, neighbors that you don't know yet, that you've been afraid to knock on the door because you don't have anything to say. Now you do. Okay? Go into Remind and find out who's owned it, how long, send them a letter, and knock on their door. And I'm going to make the video for you that you can go make a lot better than me. Okay? So I changed the headline, and I'm going to get rid of the stupid Costa Rica article. This makes me mad. My clients don't have that kind of money. Do not, guys, put anything in this gray space. So if you are going to add a video or text, keep it in the white spaces. I learned that one month by popping a video into a gray space and it didn't play, okay? So if you just want to do text here, you can obviously edit their text or get their text out, whatever you want to do here. I'm just going to move their text down because I'm going to type my own text about a different article, blah, blah, blah. So blah, blah, blah for now. Later on, I will go in and finish that with an actual sentence. If you want to add a video, all you do is up here, and if you want to add it, maybe you have an image. Maybe you have a picture of you smiling in front of Cook County with I'm appealing my property tax, or I'm appealing my homeowner's exemption that I forgot to do. You can insert a image from your image library, okay? You insert an image from your image library, which means you have to upload it from your computer. It takes 2 seconds. Or right next to it, what can you do? Insert a video. Insert a video. And the video needs to come from YouTube or Vimeo. It can't come off your phone. Now, it can come off your phone onto YouTube. So you need to create a little YouTube channel. It takes 5 minutes. Or Vimeo. I don't use Vimeo. I don't know much about it, except there's some videos I've watched on there from, like, entertainers and stuff like that. Some I think Britney Spears videos. Who knows what I was watching. But most everyone else in the world is on YouTube. That is the king and queen of content, YouTube. Put your videos on YouTube. I also can't coach you too much on Vimeo because I don't know about it. YouTube is free. And so what you do then is go into your YouTube channel and just literally cut and paste that video's hyperlink. Or not hyperlink, it's address from the little share button. So give me a second. I know we said we weren't going to do too much about video, but I have a funny feeling now some of you guys are going to want to do it.
I am Nick Libert.
Shut up, Nick. So you go into whatever video you want to share. Okay? See, it says, not save the playlist. We're going to have to open the video, and then there's a little box here. And this is the best way to do it. See the share button here down at the bottom? Click on share, and then copy. And then go into Market Leader, and it's going to say submit your video URL. Again, if you just had a picture you wanted to do there, you just upload the picture. And then you can move the size of the box. And I want my picture to be big. I want my video to be big. And quite frankly, I want my video to be right up at the top, or my picture to be right up at the top. Why? Because guess what? When this gets sent out to people, I don't even want my text there. I think I want my text below it. When this gets sent out to people, I want people to see this right away, because people have only a couple seconds of time. And so they go, oh, he did a video. Click and open up the video. If there's no video or no picture and they're going to see text, I don't want to read that. You know, this is not the information age, the ADD age. So that's how you add a video or an image. You can just text. I mean, this is like working in a Microsoft Word document. It's so easy. When you are done, press save. And this is going to say save as. This is just your internal notes. Your internal notes. So when you press save and it says save as, this is just your internal, what you're going to call it for yourself. So I don't need to title it. I know this is my only monthly newsletter coming out, so I just press save. If you would then like to make sure that any links you did there, now we're going to talk about links for a second. If you did links, so almost every month in my stuff, I've got links, because I'm also trying to invite people to stuff. So I've got the Eventbrite link or things like that. If you've got links you want to make sure they work. So you can preview to yourself. Press on preview, and then you can do it. You can look at how it's going to look on desktop or mobile, but then more importantly, you can send it to yourself as an email. So you can open it up on your phone or whatnot. But let's talk one more second about links. And guys, we are almost done. We went over on time, but we got this stuff done. If I want to do a link, so come to my holiday party. Join me by RSVPing at, and then we're just going to give a fake address for today. Do not use bit.ly links. I love them because they shorten, you know, the text shorteners, and they're case sensitive. For some reason, most CRMs and a lot of other things that are out there that spit these things out third party, they think that's spam, so they flag it and the link will work. You got to use the longer link. And so, but the thing is, though, you don't have to type that long link here. You have to type it in the hyperlink. So I'm going to say RSVPing here, okay? And then I'm going to highlight the word here. Everyone at home is watching too. And then see the insert or edit link button that I'm at? Click on that. And then the actual URL. So that long Ars Eventbrite link, or if you're I wanted to, send them somewhere else, like another article off-site or something. I don't know what you're going to do. Most of mine, I only have, I'm doing hyperlinks for Eventbrite or something like that. You do that URL there, and then the text to display, it's just reminding you what that is. Title is Nick's holiday party, or whatever it is. And then target, I like a new window, because that way there's a window open for this newsletter and opens up a separate window. They're not getting lost off this newsletter. They're going separately into a different window to open up that link. Okay? So when that's done, then again, you can go click on preview and send that to yourself. And so then that is a hyperlink. So then you press save. This is where, and again, press save. It's just reconfirming what you're calling internally. And then you are going to save it again. You're going to exit it. And you're going to save it again down here. This is the part where everybody gets stuck. Save and continue. So 2 of us in the room have thrown out our computers. And then it's going to say, who do you want to add to this? This is a reminder, who do I have that should be getting this? And so it's going to say what groups are getting it and what groups are not. Every single person that has breathed near me gets my newsletter until you unsubscribe. There's a great saying that somebody at Op City said to me. They're like, this is one of their coaches. They said, you want to talk to people, once a week or build a relationship with them over the months until they give you one of 2 fingers. It's the thumb up or the middle finger. I love that, because I got to tell you, there are people that unsubscribe to my newsletter, but because they're in my circle anyway, or that they're grouped in these other special groups, that they will respond to text and they will come to my events, even though they unsubscribed to my newsletter a long time ago. Okay, so if you want to remove anyone, any group, I don't know why you would, and then you have to save it again. Okay, so you are actually at this point done. There's nothing else to do once you saved it in the group. You see that? There's save and continue. You're done. So that is step 3 technically, is just pressing save in step 2. And you are done with your newsletter. Okay? That is it. So once your newsletter is up and running, your goal is just to change it up once a month. Think about eventually doing a photo or a video. I love the idea of Eventbrite links. Now, this month there isn't a specific link from us as an office, because all we're doing is the holiday contest, which we'll send you some information on. You can use that as content in your newsletter, but that's it. Next month, property tax appeals. So that'll come at the end of January as part of our 12-month marketing calendar. You'll have the Eventbrite link before the 10th. You'll have the information so that you could create a video or just redo the wording. And then again, you'd have something to invite them to. But even if you're just sending out a basic newsletter with nothing in it except the pre-written content, it is better than nothing at all. Okay? So this is the baseline. The baseline of your database is the newsletter. And from there, you've got to create additional value through events, through communication, both by, let's talk about it one more time, texting / calling. So you got to have their phone number. You got to have their birthday, so you can wish them a happy birthday. And what a great day on their birthday. So for example, I have a client whose birthday it is today, and he's actually the guy that does our taxes at our office. And Bill's birthday is today, so I made sure to send him a personal card, and it reminded me of my phone, because guess what? Where's the birthday? In my phone. And then I also have his home address stored right here, because the first year, by the way, I sold him this unit, but I couldn't remember the address. This is how bad I was with my database. Heather says hers is messy. Mine's the messiest out there, but not anymore. Because the first year that I did the birthday cards, I saw Bill's birthday on Facebook. I texted him, because I did have a cell phone number. If you don't, then just message him and say, hey, I've got a little birthday card for you. What's your home address? And magically, you get their full home address. And then I put it in my phone, which then synced up to Market Leader. So now this year, if you have an assistant, you can literally sit there and text that assistant and go, hey, this person, get in my CRM, get a birthday card out. Or at least get it to me to my desk so I can sign it. That looks personal. Any questions from the group? This is a lot to cover in one session. You all still breathing at home? Yep. Okay. You all still breathing in here? Yep. Me too. All right. Thank you guys very, very much. I'm here for one-on-one coaching. I will just some of you guys later in the week, specifically tomorrow night at my house for First Fridays, but you have to bring your business plan.